Good morning and welcome back to 4 More Minutes. I'm the Soul Stir, Sam Bailey, stirring up your hearts and minds for God. I'm so glad that you have joined us all week. I appreciate all you who have joined us all week. I see your comments. I appreciate your support and your encouragement. I just want to let you know that it means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to the people that you're sharing it with. I hope you guys have a good weekend and go into the weekend just thankful for what God has done for all of us throughout this week. And I pray that we will continue to elevate our thinking in our ordinary society. My thought for today is kind of a juxtaposition, kind of a paradox, so to speak. And I want to talk about the disappointment of deliverance. And what I mean by that is, I was thinking about the children of Israel. God brought them out. They had been enslaved for over 400 years. And when God brought them out of Egypt, he brought them out of Egypt only to find themselves in a desert. Sometimes be careful after you obtain a victory, because sometimes when we win the battle, we obtain the victory. It's easy for us to believe that it's going to be easy for us from there on out. And oftentimes God brings us out, but there's still some work that's required on our part. Faith without works is dead, right? Faith only works when we work. And so when God delivers us from something, we're often left with a void to fill. They're no longer slaves in Egypt. Now they got to work and fight for what they have. So that's disappointment in the deliverance. And isn't it funny? Sometimes we pray for things, and y'all have heard me say this before. You pray for what you wanted, and then you didn't want what you got. And it's like someone gets out of jail, right? They've been delivered from incarceration and been delivered from someone telling them when to go to bed and when to get up. But when they get out, they see like they have to actually get a job and go to work every day and earn it honestly. And that could be some disappointment in there, that you have some that actually want to go back because it's easier than to be integrated back into general life, regular life. And so think about it, for many people like that get divorced, they say, hey, I had to get out of this relationship no matter how toxic it is, but now you find economically you have to shoulder the burden, or now you have to go to custody issues with the father. So there's always something, right? Divine deliverance is often disappointing from moment to moment, that you're free from one moment, but yet you are entering to another phase of your life. And I think that's how life is. You find yourself never being satisfied when you don't realize that there is often disappointment in deliverance. And if you are free from sin, you got to realize that means that you're free from sin, right? You no longer do what you used to do before you came in contact with Christ, but that means since you've been delivered from those places and those spaces and those people, now you no longer have them, and you might feel by yourself. What do you do to fill those voids in your life? And that's a big question that many of us have. God delivered us from, but he delivered us from to deliver us to something, and so if you just get delivered from and you do nothing and you stand still, then you will find those space invaders that will fill your space, and they will cloud your mind, and they will get you to try to go back to what God has delivered you from. And so when God delivers you, you got to keep moving forward, even if it's through a desert, even if your past tries to come behind you, even if you don't see how it's going to open up in front of you. The divine deliverance requires that we continue to increase our faith level and trust God with the process of our lives. And when we're delivered, it's often momentarily. See, just because God did it one way this time doesn't mean he's going to do it the same way the next time. That's what Moses had to understand. The first time God told him to strike the rock, and water came out, and the people thirst was satisfied. The second time he told him to speak to the rock, but he was so frustrated with what was going on around him, and he let it get inside of him, that he struck a rock that he was supposed to be speaking to. Stop striking things that you're supposed to be speaking to. Divine deliverance is something that we all want, but it's not something that we're all, I believe, are ready for, because God has brought you out, and he's brought you out to bring you in. So I pray that we would go along with the journey, the process, think about that, consider that, and we know that God is always on our side. God is always with us, and there is no deliverance like the deliverance you get from God. So God bless you. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Keep sharing this. Thank you for being a part of this ministry, and thank you for praying for me, I'll continue to pray for you. And you can join us Sunday right here at the Cedar Valley Church of Christ as we give another word from God's holy and divine word. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Welcome to probably today, 5 more minutes. Thank you.